Okay, good afternoon, everybody. As Tony said, what we want to do today during that training is to show you what is new in our E4E campaigns, so the Essentials for Excellence, and how we build E4E into that new concept of campaign as a service. So I will go through a couple of slides. So what we did for 2015, and that is pretty much the same as we had for 2014 from a sales and marketing campaign plan, that we have 6 areas where we offer campaigns. HDPLM, which is more of an awareness campaign, the blueprints for breakthroughs, there are 13 campaigns behind, which are mainly targeted for existing customers and for large accounts. That's the reason why we will not cover that today. Then the Essentials for Excellence, which we'll cover in a second. Mainstream campaigns, everything around Solid Edge and FEMAP, and then LMS specific campaigns and the product excitement stuff. When we have a Solid Edge 7 launch, the NX10, these kind of things for existing users, existing customers, product excitement is the right thing. So when we are talking about Essentials for Excellence, they are completely industry focused. As you know from last year, when you attended also in the beginning of this year the AP Go event, you saw that we have all of that with an industry focused and a business conversation and not necessarily just product, as we do that in product excitement. The blueprints are industry focused as well. LMS right now is not industry focused in the way as we do that with Essentials for Excellence. They're getting there because now they're fully integrated. Mainstream leads more with the product due to the nature of the business. So what we did is in E4E phase 1, what you saw earlier this year at the Go event, we had basically Essentials for Excellence phase 1, and we had 3 domains. So we had one for design and engineering, one with manufacturing, and then one with process management. And then we realized that that was too big. When we talk design and engineering at the same time, we have an issue that if you talk to a simulation guy, he's not interested in the design component. If you're talking to a designer, he's not interested in the engineering component. On the technomatic side, with manufacturing, that was way too heavy on technomatics and not really on chem. So we saw a lot of people telling us that is too big, that is not really for a specific target audience, and then we have to change that. So what we did is, for E4E phase 2, as of today, we did split all of these domains into 2. So for design and engineering, we have now 2 domains. We have design and simulation. For manufacturing, we have chem and assembly. For process management, we have a design release and the engineering collaboration. And that gives us way more possibilities to now really focus on a target audience with just one topic. If you're doing a seminar, you can combine them because they're all modular. So you can say, okay, well, I have a seminar where I want to do design and chem, so you combine these things. For a typical webinar, you stay with just one of the domains. The other thing we did is we talked a lot about tips, the trends, implications, and possibilities. That we did add a tip front end to each of the 6 presentations. presentations so that we get them into an industry context. What are trends around design in electronics and semiconductors? What is a trend in simulation in the automotive industry? These kind of things. And then the next thing we did is, because this is where we stopped last year, where we said in phase one, we stopped right after that domain. What we did for this year is that we added the tips, and at the same time we did add so-called deep dive conversations for sales. So when you're running a webinar or a seminar around design in automotive suppliers or CAM in industrial machinery, then we will give you additional presentations as talking points after you finish the webinar or the seminar so that you can go back to the attendees and talk to them about these specific topics. So for CAM, for example, in here we have 5-axis machining and robot expert. On the Team Center side, we will give you a deck about rapid start, cloud and other deployment strategies so that you can go back and have an additional conversation based on what you did over here during the E4E discussion. So that is what you get in addition. These things are not part of the domain webinar slash seminar kit. These have to be add-on discussions. If you need more, if you have more time in a seminar and you need more content, yes, you can actually get them in here, but you have to make sure that what you include is really for that target audience. So the next thing we did is that we said, okay, now we have all of these campaigns, but there's a lot of stuff in there. There are nurture emails in there. There are landing pages for webinar slash seminar registrations and on all sorts of things. So what we agreed on internally that we want to run a pilot which we call campaign as a service. So the whole idea is that we want to make you more productive with that service so that you are able to execute campaigns or even more campaigns, that you create more and better leads, and that you can actually concentrate on following up leads and the sales process and not, you don't have to concentrate on how do I set up a campaign? How do I link the emails? When do I have to send out the next email? That is something that service takes care about. So what we really do is that we provide a lead generation campaign ready to execute. You can pick the campaign and you're ready to go. You don't have to do anything in addition. So there are, in this chart over here, what I want to do before I actually hand over to Erwin to talk a bit about that campaign as a service is more like a high-level workflow. So this is the bill of material for each of these campaigns. I know that is quite small. So we have the emails over here for invite. We are driving traffic to a campaign landing page with registration. There should be an email going back which says thank you for registration or a reminder that you haven't registered. You're driving the webinar. And then from here, there should be a thank you email that you really attended. And then we're going into a nurture cycle down here. So everybody who did not attend that webinar in here will go right away into their nurture track so that we stay in contact. So this is what we deliver in all of these E4E campaigns, and that is what you normally have to set up. What we do in that campaign as a service pilot is basically that we have a box around, and there are two things you have to do. You have to set up the invite list as an input, and obviously you are giving the webinar slash seminar. Everything else is done by that service. So you will get back the leads and the attendees from your webinar or seminar. Out of that nurture track, you will get qualified nurture leads. You will get obviously an address qualification because we get more and more information about people. You know whether the email address was wrong, so that we really qualify that input over here. And everything from here can now be used as an input for the next invite. Because if you're running the same webinar again with people which haven't attended, you can use these guys from here, put them back into it, and the only thing we have to change as a service, we have to change the date of your webinar. Because then it is probably in 8 weeks, and you can run exactly the same thing again because it doesn't cost you additional resources and it doesn't cost you any additional budget. So that whole block in here, and that's the reason why I made it so tiny, is really a campaign as a service. You deliver the invite list as an input into that service model, and you will get leads and then qualified nurture leads out of it. So that is in essence the total idea about that. Having said that, I would like to hand over now to Erwin de Weert from AIM First to talk you a bit through that campaign as a service in a bit more detail.
Thank you very much, Jürgen. Hello, everybody. Thank you, Tony. For the introduction. As Jürgen said, my name is Erwin de Weert from AIM First. AIM First is a marketing automation vendor, and I like to talk a little bit more about this gray box campaign as a service, what is in the box, and to explain a little bit how it works to give you a better understanding about this concept. So like Jürgen already showed in this smaller picture, what we set up for every campaign is a workflow. Running the campaigns, and this is basically the workflow as is designed for all the different campaigns. These workflows are similar, so for the different domain solutions and different industry campaigns we have set up the same workflow what will be run by the marketing automation. So it means we have the option to choose whether we do a webinar or a seminar. And we can plan this somewhere in the agenda. After this, we can set up an acquisition process for the invites for this event. This contains of different steps, different emails explained, and that's basically showing different assets like case studies, but also video and presentation used for the nurturing process. Currently designed in this phase of the pilot is this kind of campaign. So in total we have 6 different industry campaigns with the main solutions available in different languages, as you see in this overview. All 6 campaigns obviously is available in English and also a localization in simplified Chinese, traditional Chinese, Japanese and Korean is available by early of November for these campaigns. So that means that every channel partner can just choose one of these campaigns and they are ready to use, ready to run for a partner. This list is just to give you an overview that one campaign contain different assets like email and pages and web forms to run the campaign as a service. So one campaign has a set like this: emails for acquisition, emails for nurturing, pages based for acquisition, and pages for nurturing. It's just an overview to see the number of like 13 emails and 15 pages for every campaign we have available and set up. And like Jurgen already explained, all these assets, you don't have to do something about creating this or setting this up, because this is part of the service box. Another important thing is that we, along the process, we collect data from the subscribers, the contacts, from the people that first is visiting the pages. Can be by Google searches or other social media or advertising, and of course by means of the outbound activities, what mean the mailing activities, what we do to the uploaded contact lists. Maybe we start with only an email address, a name, and along the campaign running, we will learn more about these contacts, what can be used for the qualification process and for further follow-up actions that is part of the campaign. And in fact, the kind of information that we collect is following the qualification, sales qualification process. So you see here that we have questions about job. It's important that we know what kind of position the contact has. If the contact that we are talking to is active and working in the industry that we are targeting, and also if there is an interest in PLM products and in our PLM products, what mean Siemens PLM products and what product the interest is. And also when we come more close to the sales cycle, we like to know in what is the timeline that people think they should implement or adopt one of the PLM products. So within 1 to 3 months, 3 to 6 months, or 6 to 12 months. And this is important information for the sales team for follow-up. And so we have a whole set of questions that we ask the different contacts on different occasions. And we will see some examples for that when we move on. The application, because these campaigns is running on a marketing application. And on the application we have different forms of reports and ways to follow the process and to manage the process. And one of them is that there is a lead scoring in place. And for those who are not familiar with lead scoring, it means that actually we look at two things. The first thing we look at is how active a contact is on our content. Quick example, if we send a mail and somebody open mail and click on a link, that means there is an interest. Otherwise somebody is not opening and clicking link. That means that we have a score on interest. So if the same person later on is also downloading one of the case studies, it means there is more interest. So the interest go up, the interest rate. At the same time, when somebody downloads a case study and we ask, what is your job? And it is an engineering manager, that means it's interesting for the campaign. And then we have the second grade, what is the fit. And fit means that we talk to the right company, that we talk to the right person, and that there is a serious interest in our product. And that brings us finally to the overview as we see here, that on the top left in the diagram, it means there is a high interest and there is a good fit, and this is the most qualified leads. So if we click on that number, then we can find these 10 most qualified people, and we can see actually the profiling data. On the bottom right you see a little bit an overview that the answers that we receive on the different questions that we had. So it gives us a good indication also for next actions, because on the bottom we see that we have an interest, but people did not really give us answers yet on who they are and what they really want. That means that the campaign should focus on these groups for gathering more information, and that can be, like Jurgen explained, by the next round to invite this group that already show interest for the next event activity to see if we can find more information about it. There is different overviews like these about people that finally decided to sign up for an event, seminar or webinar, or download a case study, or want to see the video or the presentation. And actually on all these numbers we know exactly what people is responding on these details, and this is also interesting information. Like it is management for your event, you can see exactly how many people signed up and you can expect for the event. Some more metrics as an output. That's why I show basically the most important output overviews, what can be used for the channel partner in follow-up activities and during the campaign. So on the left, lead development, that means that on every point in the campaign you can see what is the number of suspects, prospects, marketing leads and sales leads that I currently have in the campaign. And also a little bit like what happened the last 3 days, 7 days, or in the last month. Give us more information about the database that we still have and can work, and the leads that are ready, like in the green area is the marketing leads and the sales leads. This is the first leads to follow up. That means that the sales team does not have to bother about the group of suspects and prospects, what is a lot of contacts, but can focus on a limited number of qualified contacts, leads to follow up, and that brings a better conversion rate than just following up on suspects as an example. But also if we want to know more about one particular mailing, for example an invitation for an event, what was the performance on one mailing, we can see that as well. You see that in the top right funnel overview, that we can see for every activity how many contacts did we actually mail, send, was it opened, did people click, and we can see exactly the number and also who it was. So it is drilling down on a contact level. And on the bottom you can see a series of emails that the application sent, and by every email that has been sent we see the performance, and we can see what was more successful and less successful. So the more you run the campaign, we will also see and learn what was more successful in your market with your products. Also on part of the web, that means the pages. It's a little bit like Google Analytics for the ones that are familiar with this. This is also web analytics on all the pages of the campaign. So you can see what pages is most popular, did receive most visitors, but also on the bottom left we can see, and that's interesting for the campaign follow-up, is from what page people come and where they go after visiting one page. So as an example, if somebody signed up for the event, did he come straight from the emailing, or did he first visit some other pages before visiting the event registration page? And what did this person do after the event registration? Did he just close the website and did do something else? Was it an exit? Or did he visit other pages, and what pages did he visit? We can also on a visitor level see the level of engagement the visitors have with our pages and website on page level, and obviously there is a lot more of this kind of web analytics available. Important part for this campaign as a service box is that I talk a little bit about lead scoring, and I talk about campaign and a workflow, that the lead scoring setup, the rules for this is already available as a out-of-the-box service. So it's included in the campaign as a service box. It is ready, so it's designed for all campaigns and can be used by the channel partners directly. It's same for the workflow. Workflow means on the day that you choose, the first email will be sent by the system, and then the workflow will run by itself. What means after a first invitation, the second invitation will be sent, let's say 1 week or 2 weeks later, and the application will only send this to the contacts that did not already open the mail or sign up for the event. So this kind of thing is organized by the workflow, and this is ready to use workflow for the partners. To give a little bit an idea about the type of assets, this is the templates for one of the campaigns, design campaign. On the top left we see it is designed by Siemens Content, images and text and stuff. It's the example for the first emailer, and the balloons you see, the yellow balloons, it's pointing the reseller details that is in these different emails and pages. So that means you see something about the PLM event. The information about the PLM event is specific for your event, and it's same like logo, contact details and all this kind of things. So there is all different elements on these pages and mailers that show your identity and your information in there. So that means it is a combination of the specific industry content about products and industries from Siemens campaign E4E together with your branding. It's a partner branded campaign. And here we have a 3-step process. So first an emailer for the event brings you to an event landing page with more information about the webinar or the seminar. And finally people can register, sign up at the event details page. Example for the nurturing assets, the case studies. It's also starting, there is emails available, case study emailer, and same including partner details. Brings you to a case study page, and the case study page brings you to the case study download page. And you see on the pages there is different forms where we collect the data about the visitors. So it's like normally it works like this, that we ask 1 or 2 questions, except from name or email what we already have. And this 1 or 2 questions give us more information about the contact for more qualification. There's also email and page for a video offering and a presentation offering. So this is all sets available for the different campaigns. This was one example. What was part of the list of different emailers and pages that every campaign contained. So now what you need to do, Jurgen already explained a little bit, and how you can start all this service box. Well, first of all, of course, we need you to register for this campaign as a service. What mean that we know who you are, and that we can add you to the system. And basically you can select the industry campaign that is the best fit for your business within the localization, as I explained before. Next step is to submit event information. When do you plan to have an event? Can be seminar or webinar. When, where, what. So this should be uploaded to the campaign. And also the invite list, the contact list. Important to understand for this is that that's completely secure. What mean every reseller has their own login and database to the marketing automation platform. So there is no single database for this, but it is partner branded and partner accounts, different partner accounts on the platform. The next step after the list is available is actually to schedule when you want to start. So that means basically giving the start date of your campaign. And then the process can start. And finally we can follow up leads that come out of the campaign. So here's a little bit an overview of what I explained. On the top left there is different campaigns you see on your account. So after you log in you see the campaigns available, ready to run. You can just select one of those campaigns to use. Second step is adding the event details. You can do this yourself, but you can also send this to us, and we will then make your selection and add the event details. So it's not something you have to worry about to learn things to do, because it's also included in the services. Same for the list upload. You can send us the list and we will upload it for you on your account. And if you want, you can upload yourself as well. This can be uploaded from any Excel list, so it does not really matter in what different format. It will be organized that your list will be uploaded to the system ready to use. And then the last step on 4 bottom right is that you can schedule the campaign activation date and time to start the campaign running. So what kind of information do we need from you? Well, actually to sign up for the campaign as a service, we need basic information like reseller name, contact details. We need a logo and the products and industries that you are focusing in. And that's basically it. You can register online for this, and that means then you are on the platform and can start using this. For the lists upload, we have a template. However, if you have any list, you can send it to us as well, and then we will upload the list in the right template for you. So that is, and that's basically the kind of information that we need to get things going. So what is the return of campaign as a service that you will receive? Well, first and most important of all, and that is the goal for the marketing campaigns and automation and all these things, is to receive qualified leads. And along this qualified leads, like I explained in the lead scoring overview, we receive a lot of information, what you can call profiling information. So when a lead is not yet ready to be followed up, we can work on these different leads by receiving more information about the leads in terms of profile information. We have ready-to-use industry campaigns, and we have partner branded campaign materials. I will give you some examples just after this slide for this. And we have a marketing automation and an event management solution available for the partners. So basically it means that you can start working with professional campaign and marketing tools, but you need very little resources to get things running and to get things going. That is the whole idea about campaign as a service model. I like to share some business case from the first pilot that we did. And this partner Core Technologies is example. So here you see one of the invitation mailers for their event. They organized a seminar. And you see in all the arrows, it's elements that is partner branded. So the can be the styling colors of pages and emailers, but also the logo, the event details, clearly the contact details on all different kind of pages and elements. It's partner branded, and like I explained for the contact list, same appears for people that is submitting a form with information. That means every submit will end up in the partner database. So on this form on the page, somebody submit information about their job, their interest, whatever. This information is stored in the partner database. So it's your information and can be used by the partner, and that's basically also a secure area. During this campaign, an overview, you can see what is the lead status, the number of suspects, prospects, and marketing leads. So here you see in this campaign we have a total of 70 marketing leads to be followed up, and in terms of the event on the bottom, there was around more than 100 people or 100 email addresses signing up for the event online, and actually we registered 70 people that did event participation. It was a little bit more. I think it was about 87 people visited the event, but not everybody has an email address in this example. So that's why the number of 70 is a little bit less than the total amount of people. But basically this is information that can be used for more activities in the next steps. So in this example, you see that it was started with a database that over 13,000 contacts, and from these 13,000 contacts we receive some interest and some fit, what brings us to a top level of a smaller group that have a high interest and a good fit. And in this group we found, like you see in this example, contacts and companies that say, yeah, we are interested in this case Teamcenter, and we think we will do something in the next 6 months. And this is exactly the kind of thing, of course, that we are looking for to deliver this kind of qualified leads to the sales team. These people also visited the event, so it's a good interest and a good fit for further follow-up activities, and this is the kind of information that you can receive from the campaign, one of the campaigns running. Okay, so for the presentation will be shared because I can understand that we run a little bit like quick through the different options and reports and possibilities. That is a lot of information. But I like to spend some remaining time to show you from this live example from Core Technologies about the campaign itself. So there is more a feeling about how it works and how it looked like. So now I will try to get my screen sharing for this. Very clear. So yeah, I want just share a couple of minutes to see some things live because it's always interesting and not only see the presentation but see some of the application and the process live. So currently I hope everybody can see my screen. Tony, is it clear? The screen?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good, great, thanks. So what you can see on the top right corner now, I'm logged in as Core Technologies. This is the partner where we run the pilot for in this campaign as a service model. And I want to see some about leads and marketing. So I choose this element. And I want to see about the marketing campaigns. Here I open up a list of the different assets that we have available. Like when you choose, this was an automotive campaign. If you choose this campaign, you will receive this kind of assets. And to give you one example, I want to see preview. So here you see this an emailer that we have this, and in this gray block is the details for the event, and you see the different styling and elements from Core Technologies. If you want to register for the event, we come to the page. The event is now already done, so it was in September. So here you see one example of these forms. So first name, last name, we probably know from the list email. We ask what kind of PLM solution you need. You can make one of the decisions, and this is how we collect the different information. One of the next steps is that we have this asset, so we see the pages and the campaign available. So if I go to the sites and the pages, you see here that this was an automotive design and engineering campaign. A little bit different from what Jurgen explained for the new campaigns. And here I open up all the different pages that is available. And if I just click on one of the pages and I do a preview. So here we see again, it's a core technology page. Even in the URL on the top, maybe you cannot read it, but it's a specific core technologies URL. What mean that it help in the Google search results to find this page for the particular partner. So we have all these assets available, and then we can look into the contact lists. but maybe first you want to understand a little bit what this campaign is all about. We select a campaign, go into dashboard, and here you see the different campaigns that is available. As an example, the automotive campaign acquisition event. Let's view this campaign. Now here we see a start date, end date for this campaign. And we see under this, I don't have to will not explain everything in detail, but it say that we first invitation will be sent, then after this a second invitation will be sent. We have a condition, what mean it is only sent to people that did not open the first invitation, etc. So after this there will be a third, send the third invitation. You see the number of hours, this 817 hours waiting between the two different activities. It sent the third invitation. And we even have a fourth invitation that was including an emailer, but we sent only to people that did not submit, etc., etc. Finally, we sent an event reminder. That is to everybody that already submitted for the event. The application is sending a reminder. And so the complete workflow is programmed and ready to use. So this is ready for you, this workflow to start right away. Okay, so if you want to start this, actually we go into the scheduling of the campaign. We have here the same campaign, acquisition for event. And we can say, okay, our database, let's say the automotive list, I will actually link this to this campaign. By clicking activate and say an activation date and activation time, and that means from this point on the campaign will start running on this list. So we can also do a segmented approach. There is different customers that have this request. For instance, they first want to do one area, then another area, and etc. So they don't want start all activities at one time. So you can do that here as well. So actually then the campaign is running, and you can go into the analytics. So that's the last thing I want to show. Let's have a look at the dashboard. Here we see the performance for the first emailer. It was sent to 14,000. we can go in the, I search now, okay, yeah, the lead scoring, what we see here. So we have the lead score. We hope that it will bring you a lot of good and prosperous business. Thank you very much.